Call this meeting to order, the Lincoln County Board of Education meeting in regular session on Thursday, February 15th at 7 p.m. and we're at the county office. This meeting is being live streamed and it's also being, videotaped and will be on the board's website within 5 working days. This time, I'm going to ask Mr. Don Davis, Assistant Superintendent of Schools, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, well, there's 4 of us in attendance physically, and Mr. Mosteller is on the phone. So we all are here. No public comment tonight. This time, presentations and reports.
Well, Mr. Steve Gaines is going to give us a presentation on introduction to federal programs.
Welcome, Mr. Gaines.
Thank you. It's program. Good catch. Can make you. Thanks, sir. Yes.
Thank you, Steve.
Can I have another one for Mr. Mosteller? All right, thank you. And Robert, I'm saving all this paperwork for you. I'll get to the next meeting.
All right, so good evening. Oh, it works really well. Good job, Cody. My name is Steve Gaines. I'm the Director of Federal Programs here in Lincoln County. First of all, I would like to welcome our new board members, Mr. Mosteller and Mr. Cartwright. Welcome to Lincoln County. Tonight, I'm going to give a quick summary of the different parts of federal programs. Federal programs is unique in that it carries over into a lot of different departments, so I have to wear a lot of different hats. If you have any questions, it's going to be really fast. Just stop me and I'll go over whatever you need to be go over. First is our Title I program. That's our biggest program. We have 6 Title I schools: Midway, Duval, Hamlin, Guyan Valley, Harts, and West Hamlin. Title I is a federal program to support schools that have 40% of its students classified as low income. And now it's very important that we realize that Title I is not based on location or test scores. It's just based on percentage of students who are low income. So there's no connotation with Title I. It's just, it is what it is. Title I, like Title II, III, IV, and V, are continuous grants. We get them every year, sometimes a little more money, sometimes a little less. We use that allocation for over 20 positions. These are interventionists, social workers, academic coaches, directors, coordinators. We also use it for homeless supplies, family engagement, and various educational programs. Now, Lincoln County High School is not a Title I school. They could be, they do qualify, but we use Title IV and V money to support them. Any questions about that?
Why? Why do you use 4 and 5 instead of 1?
Well, that's a good question because it's based on per pupil allocation. So there's over 800 kids at the high school. So they would suck up probably about 30%.
Yeah, everybody would be zero.
So we would lose all our funding for our elementary students. So it all go to the high school.
Yeah, good.
And as a county, we decided that our interventions work best from K to 5.
Okay.
Next is Title II or SIPS money. If you hear that, it's professional development money. SIPS is the West Virginia Support for Improving Professional Practice. That's all professional development money. We use it for summer academies, instructional coaching, and various staff trainings throughout the school year. So that's Title II and SIPS.
Now, when you say staff training, Steve, you mean our professional people and our aides and other people?
It's mostly professionals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mostly professional.
That's for our summer academies, teaching academies, and we have a ton of different trainings throughout the school year.
Okay.
Title III is our non-English speaking students, or EL students. We provide EL services for those students who qualify. And right now we do not have any EL students. We haven't had one for a couple of years. So, but we're always ready for that.
Can you carry over money like that to the next year, or do you have to spend it in some other category?
We don't get any Title III money
Uh-huh.
until we get Title III students.
Uh-huh.
So they do not, nothing carries.
So we don't get anything.
No.
We're not losing anything.
No, we're not losing anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Title IV money is the Well-Rounded Health and Safety Grant. This is what we do to support LCHS. We do that with the Early College Academy,
Okay.
New Locks, summer school, after school, drones, robotics, and other PD sessions. That's for Title IV funds. Title V is our rural grant. Once again, we support the high school with PSAT, help, Khan Academy, summer school, after school, and family engagement. Any questions about Title I through V?
PD. What is PD?
Professional development.
Okay.
Can this Title V monies be used to have a summer camp of sorts?
Absolutely, yeah. Summer enrichment, 4-H camps, stuff like that. We support that with Title IV and V money.
How much money do we get? from this?
Title IV is about 100,000 and Title V about 94,000.
Okay.
Does money roll over from year to year?
Yeah, we have basically 2 years to spend it.
Okay.
So the liquidation date the following year is November. So
So we don't have any Title III money coming in because we don't have any non-English speaking. Okay.
no.
Could this summer camp money be used for vocational summer camp?
Yeah, absolutely. We can use it for whatever we want to for summer school. We can use it for credit recovery, summer enrichment. I'll go over that in a minute.
Okay.
Whatever program we see a need for, we can use that money for.
Do you all ever talk to the teachers about what programs they would like to see in the summer?
We have a staff survey every year,
Yeah.
and we kind of ask questions. What do you want to see over the next year? So we have that probably in the next couple of months, and then we'll share that with the board.
Okay. And then that's what you base what you're gonna.
Yeah, so basically we base our summer academies,
Uh-huh.
our summer enrichments, like what program do they want to see?
Where do you usually have those? At the high school or here?
We have our summer enrichment at Midway, Harts, the high school, and central office.
Okay. Well, why do we not have them at the other place? other
It
school?
costs a lot of money.
Yeah, it does.
So
But
every site's about $25,000 to $30,000, and we just don't have that much money for every site.
do you alternate the schools year to year that somebody gets something I'm not,
So,
somebody gets it
yeah.
all the time?
well, for the last couple of years, we've kind of rotated. So this year will be a big stepping stone of what we decide. We used to use ESSER money for the last couple of years, and that money's gone. So we'll have some tough decisions come summer. So
It would be good if we could have maybe shorter times at the school, but let every school have them.
that could be an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah, I think that would be more palatable to parents and to students and.
we'll try anything to help students out.
Yeah, and I think that, if we do the same schools all the time, it's kind of not fair.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
need to do it.
I agree 100%.
Transportation to them, so
Yeah.
sometimes it almost turns out as broad as it is long, because we transport them from wherever they are to.
To there, but do those schools and the parents and students at the other schools that don't have the different things, are they very?
Absolutely, yeah.
aware
We
that they-
combine schools. So like this year,
Yeah.
we had at the central office, it was for West Hamlin kids and Hamlin kids.
Mhm.
So there are some issues with West Hamlin's like playground. There's some issues with Hamlin's HVAC.
Mhm.
So we combined them into one school here at the central office. So
Just,
we'll work through things
Yeah.
in the summer, kind of the best fit for the kids.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I just, I just want us to be fair and open
Absolutely.
for every student, no matter
Absolutely.
what school they're in.
Yeah, we want as many kids to attend summer enrichment as possible.
Right,
Yeah,
right. And as many parents as we can get to be aware of those
absolutely.
and the dates. They might even want to know maybe before school's out, maybe the beginning of the second semester, so they can plan their family
Oh, we
trips.
do a
around.
great job of broadcasting summer
Good.
school. So we throw it out in every avenue. So.
Well, I haven't known about
yeah.
it. So maybe you need to tell us a little bit.
Give you a hypothetical. Okay. One of the things that I'm working off to the side has nothing to do with the Board of Education is getting facilities at the 4-H camp up in Mud River. Now, if we had the dormitories, I guess that's what you call them, overnight
Yeah.
staying places, and had recreational facilities, I call it an obstacle course, what the Army uses for team building. If we had those facilities up there, would your funds pay to house students in those facilities?
To house students, probably so. To build stuff, no.
No.
No construction whatsoever. Yeah, but I mean, to house them, yeah, for educational activity, absolutely.
Or to transport them
Yeah,
from home
yeah,
up there and
Yeah,
back.
of course, our buses run everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
Peggy
good
does a great
option.
job of figuring out
Yeah.
who goes where. All right, next is the Gear Up Grant. It's a federal grant. We have 4 years left on the grant. It assists with college and career readiness. We have 2 site coordinators at LCHS. They help with SAT prep, college and work site field trips, and help with the FAFSA. Now, Gear Up is only for 9th, 10th, and 12th graders. That is written in the federal grant, and it kind of follows them along. So once our 9th graders hit 12th grade, the grant runs out. But they do a great job. We have Bill McLeod and Mary Mullins over there, and they do a great job getting the kids ready for either college track or a just vocational track.
So we have 9, 10, and 12, no 11.
No,
Why don't
Well,
we have
that's
11?
gonna be next year. It follows them. They started in 7th.
okay.
grade and then-
Okay, so we will have 9, 10, 11, and 12 next year.
well, it'll be.
Or 9, 10,
No,
and
it'll be
11.
those 2 grades. They started in
Yeah.
7th and 8th, and then they'll move to the 8th and 9th. And
And the 10th,
Yeah,
11th.
It's just the way the federal grants written.
Yeah.
Until they graduate.
Yeah, it's not every grade, every
No.
year. It's just following those that we've
Specific,
started.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
we started.
Okay, good, good.
Next is our Communities in Schools State Grant, CIS. That's a student supports grant. We got about $340,000 from the state. We have 12 site coordinators. They help as mentors, big brothers, big sisters, advocates, advisors, and family contacts. So this is I think our 4th or 5th year for CIS staff, and they do an excellent job.
Every elementary,
Every school in the county.
everyone.
Yeah.
Good.
Is this fully funded?
Fully
Their
funded, yeah.
Positions are fully funded by federal monies, no county money.
No county money at all.
Community and schools is state grant.
Yeah, we,
Sorry.
yeah,
It's a state grant. Communities and schools, it's state.
Okay,
yeah,
But we're
yeah,
not
no
paying
county
for
money
the
whatsoever.
cost.
No.
okay.
Never. Next is the Greater Connections grant. This is a state grant I got last year. It's $500,000. And it's kind of funny. We use it to employ 2 social workers. You think $500,000, but for over 3 years, that's really only for 2 social workers and their salary. So
So this is not a yearly grant. This is a 3-year grant, the
Yeah.
500,000
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we're year 2 of the 3-year grant. Also, we have a social worker at every school and at least 1 to 2 site coordinators at every school. So we do a great job with student supports. So hopefully the CIS grant will continue. Once again, that's based on state legislative stuff. So hopefully we'll get that again next year. Next is family engagement. That is Sue Burton's crew. She's a rock star, provides family services, food, clothing, and household supplies. And she also manages the volunteer training. So once again, Sue does a great job with that.
How many volunteers did we have in our schools last
I
year?
think last year was like, I think 300.
Oh, Lord,
Yeah,
that's
she-
great.
She does trainings throughout the school year. I always kind of get with her about surpassing the previous year's
Yeah.
total. So she does a good job with that. Next is 21st Century. If you hear the word 21st Century, it's an after-school grant. We have 2 schools under that grant, Harts and Duval. That means each site has a coordinator, teachers, cooks, bus drivers, social workers, the whole gambit for those 2 schools. So if you hear the word 21st Century, it's after-school grant.
Are the other schools, interested in having one?
Well,
after school?
there's other grants out there. It's every year, so we have to apply for it. We did not get it this year, but we use other Title I money to support that. So we're in the process of figuring out how to
Get
support
one
those.
for everybody?
Yeah, so
Well, I hope we do.
we will. We was just trying to
Yeah.
figure it out the best way of doing it. Next, if you hear the word GPS, that is the West Virginia Department of Ed website where our strategic plan, crisis plan, and all our federal budgets are housed and approved. So it's just a fancy way of saying a website. But if you hear the word GPS, that's where all our budgets are approved by the State Department. Next,
So anybody can get on there, any citizen, or
No.
just who?
just myself, Mr. Barnett, Mr. Davis, and a couple other.
So citizens are us, we can't do
No.
that.
What happens is our strategic plans on our website, so we broadcast that.
To
So
whom and in what form?
on our website, our strategic plan, so everyone can see that.
Okay,
They
if they
can't,
have a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause if you get into the system, you can make changes to it. That's-
Yeah, I mean, but if you have a computer, but lots of other people don't.
well, our phone, I mean, so you can look at, the plan's 100 pages, so it's gonna take someone dedicated to.
Yeah,
school
somebody that
system.
really wants to know.
Yes, really wants to know.
But they sometimes really want to know
Absolutely
about
right.
special ed about
Abs-
their kids.
And we are mandated to have that broadcasted on our website,
Yeah.
so. Next is I'm the foster care contact between DHHR and LCS. We have monthly MADET meetings to provide educational information to support social services. So I do that once a month. Next is a new teacher academy. We provide assistance to all new teachers with instructional techniques and classroom management. We have monthly meetings with the curriculum team, so we provide a really good service for new teachers. Right now, we have about 10 new teachers in Lincoln County, so that's a pretty good number. Next is teacher mentors. We provide certified mentors to new teachers. We provide weekly, monthly mentoring throughout the school year.
Do we do that at every school with every new teacher?
Every new teacher, absolutely. That's the state policy. Next, alternative certification. That is the alternate pathway to get a teaching license. Currently, we have 11 teachers in the alt certification program. Majority are special ed teachers. We use the iTeach model. So if you hear the word iTeach, it's our online platform for alternate certification. That's an approved program out of Texas. So why Texas? That was before I got here, so I don't know. Next ones are our biggest one, Schoology. It's not Schoology, it's Schoology. So make sure we all understand that. It's our grading platform. The teachers do a great job. It's a closed system, which means only Lincoln County parents at that particular school, students and teachers can access the program. It's where all the grades are housed, the assignments, and the communication between school and family.
Does each teacher do their discipline and their grades and their lesson plans, and it's all separate depending upon school?
Everything's on Schoology. Discipline is Weavis, so it's separate, but teacher can assign an assignment, grade the assignment, and it'll shoot to the parent, like your child got a 75%.
If they have a computer.
Yeah.
That's the.
And they have to be signed up with Schoology.
Yeah.
So it's a process. Yeah.
About what percentage of our parents have computers or signed up?
Oh, for signing up for Schoology, about 50%.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
How much?
50.
50%. And
That seems unreal,
That
doesn't it?
seems awfully low.
in
Well,
reality,
They
no,
don't have computers.
be honest with you, that is a high number. Because
Yeah.
if you compare with other counties, 50% of the parents who sign up, that's pretty much normal. It is a monstrous task to sign parents up.
It is a monstrous task to,
like you
to
said,
get any kind of,
A lot of them don't have access to
that's
the
right.
internet.
They don't have access
Uh,
to the computer.
So we're always
To the
trying to
internet.
sign up parents. So our first question to parents when they call, hey, do you have access to Schoology?
Yeah,
No, let's sign you up right now.
yeah.
So it's a process. It's going to take a couple more years for us to get maybe 75%. So that's our goal.
Years ago, when I was principal, Duval Dons was working for me. We kind of pioneered computers in this county. And when Mr. Brazell was superintendent in 2001 or 2, we had 65% of our kids on computers at home. Now with cell phones, if they had service, I'm sure there's 100% availability on there to get access to this website. It seems like that's something that the school administration should be pushing diligently with every parent. If they have to have them sit down with every parent and show them how to get on that. I don't know why we couldn't have, I bet you 100% of our parents have access to a computer or a cell phone.
Absolutely
Now, they may
correct.
not have the broadband that they need for certain things, but they aren't always at home either. They go somewhere where they can get access. So I think that's something we really need to be pushing with our school principals, that
Absolutely.
they take a more proactive part in getting parents involved on this.
Steve put out tutorials last year on Schoology, how to get on it, how to access their code, how to, look, what to look for with assignments, how to search assignments. He put those videos out last year, so we.
Now, that might be a good video to put on your school
And you know
channel.
what? Sometimes when I was in elementary, I found that PTA, I mean, your
Yeah.
meetings at night.
Yeah, we have family nights, and that's one of our
Yes.
big goals is to sign up as many people to Schoology as we can.
And
Yeah.
the meeting, and
Yeah.
they really, after that, if you speak straight to parents some of them are not computer aware. But if you're at a meeting and you say, We're gonna have a training for you all here at school," because even the elementaries have a little lab, they will come and you can train them, and I think that's such a good thing to do with
Yeah, and all
parents.
Title I schools have to have multiple parent nights throughout the
Yes,
school year. That's
yes.
mandated. So
And they
that's, and one of our missions, if, when you see a new parent, sign them up.
grab them.
Yeah, sign them up. But it's a process because it's not easy. You need an email address. If you don't have an email address, you can't do it.
But you always can tell them,
Yeah.
Steve, that you'll help them with that, and it
Absolutely.
just opens up so much to them.
They're-
What happens too, a lot of times, that 50% is probably a little bit deceiving, because a lot of times the parent will just use the student account.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for their own thing.
Yeah.
You gotta trust them to do it and encourage them, but you can't make them.
Yeah,
Yes,
either the
Frank.
student or the parent being on it. I don't, I would think 90% would be a more realistic number that we should be shooting for. So I would just encourage you all to do
Yeah, absolutely.
more. in
Yeah,
this
and that's,
regard
and
to
that's,
parents
yeah, we do it all the time. Yeah.
If it, I've never been on it.
Yeah.
If it's a worthwhile site, if it's just one of these things that we do because.
No, it is
I
like you ask the
suspected it.
teachers, it's very comprehensive. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. It's very engaging. They can create tests and Schoology will grade it for them. So there's a lot of different variables inside of it. So we started it about 3-4 years ago. We trained all the teachers. So, and you can put in your whole year-long course in Schoology. So if you do that once, it's always going to be there for the rest of your career. So there's a lot of front end to back end things that help teachers out tremendously. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, that would make sense, because the kids are more aware
Yeah,
than
yeah.
the little ones are.
Yeah. Next, robotics and drones. It's located in all LCS schools. We compete at the county, state, regional, and national levels. Larry Harshberg at the high school does a great job as a kind of a championship level coach. I think he won a state championship a couple of years ago. So we encourage our guys to participate in as many competitions as possible.
Does he have maybe any kind of a training session with elementary teachers that he does for you?
When we hire our robotics coaches, they all meet with Larry,
Okay.
and he
so
goes over
they-
the whole program.
And there's one at each school?
Yeah, well,
Great.
we have jobs posted right now, so we encourage as many teachers to apply for those
That's
positions.
great.
I mean, kids you'll see drones flying everywhere.
Yes.
Sometimes it's kind of scary, but kids are better pilots than adults.
And they also are better at computers.
Absolutely right. Next is one of my favorites, military families. We provide programs and support for military families. Last year, we all received the Purple Star Award from the State Department. So we're going to encourage our schools to continue with that process. Next is preschool and early literacy. We provide services to preschool students. That is Dion Lucas right behind me. She's in charge of that. I stay out of her way.
What are
She-
some of the things you do with the little ones in the preschool and with their parents? Some of the activities you do?
Come on up, Leah.
Yeah, see, she'll give you a break and she'll talk.
I'll put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to holler at her. I've hollered at her too many years.
Programs here, and it's on the agenda tonight for the contract. We're currently, this year enrollment is right now at 177. Mr. Davis and I have a goal of 200. We're working on that. I have a great staff from Southwestern Head Start that work with me that are out. They say they beat the bushes getting these children. Last audit we had 93% of our 4-year-olds taking advantage of preschool programs. here
That is
in County.
wonderful.
So we're very fortunate in that aspect that families are taking advantage of the program here.
Great.
4 days a week, Fridays off. It's a full day of preschool. They get breakfast, lunch, and a snack before they go home during the day. So
What's our numbers?
it was 177 right now.
So can you through the year give us a little bit
I
of
can.
it?
I can update you as often, as
Yeah.
many times as you want me to. I'm in current
Yeah.
in constant contact with Mr.
It'd
Davis
be
about
interesting to
this.
see how many we have in each school in each year. Yeah,
Absolutely. And we also service our 3-year-olds with special needs.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right.
And how many 3-year-olds did we have with special needs last year?
With developmental, we probably had around 20, and they're all through our county.
Now, will they go to
They go, if they have a developmental delay, they go full-time preschool,
Okay,
and they can actually have 3 years of preschool.
before they move on to
before they go on
kindergarten.
To kindergarten. So it's all about early intervention, and
Yes.
getting those kids at an early age. Hopefully, by the time they finish preschool, they won't need those services.
Even if they are a little older, their skills are gonna be there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Deion Lucas is by far probably one of the best preschool people in the state. I mean, not even close.
Here I knew her.
We
way
are, we
before
are
you. She was my
extremely
fourth grade
lucky to
teacher.
have Deion in Lincoln
No, we're
County.
not lucky, we're
We are
blessed.
blessed, lucky, whatever you want
Yes,
to call it.
we
So
really
she
do.
does a great job. Next is, if you hear the word Solera time, that's how we punch in and out. That's how our service personnel punch in and out. Our after-school and summer school personnel also use Solera time. So if you hear the word Solera time with our staff and they grumble about it, that's what it
It
is.
really is, you punch in and you punch out with a card, or you sign
You
in?
just sign in.
Oh, okay, I thought we'd move to the,
Yeah.
oh, I thought we'd move to the punch in, punch out time.
The staff love Solera time. Next is Frontline. That's our online job posting site. I work with Mrs. Atkins to post supplemental positions. Frontline is how we apply for positions in the county.
Statewide.
Statewide, yeah,
Yeah.
as well. And the last one, our most popular program, Safe Schools. That's our online platform for all required trainings. The teachers love Safe Schools. We have 40 or more courses on Safe Schools, CPR, AED, homeless, first aid, active shooter, and so forth. So we provide that service to all our personnel. They have 3 months to complete the Safe Schools training. It's comprehensive. It checks all the boxes, and they do a good job. So the last couple of years,
Service personnel?
everyone,
Oh, that's
everyone,
janitors too?
everyone.
That's great.
So so they all love Safe Schools. That's all I got. Any questions about anything? It's a lot of stuff. So if you ever want me to come back and just expound on one part of it, I can come back anytime. Like I said, federal programs, we do a lot of different things and a lot of different programs, but we have a lot of good people within the department. So like Dion, Sue, and those guys. So if you have any questions about federal programs, just let me know.
Thank you.
So right now I have Dion, Sue, for community, family engagement, and my secretary, Christy. And well, I have a lot of different personnel at different schools.
Yeah, I'm
But
talking
like
about
direct,
just here.
just here it'd be Dion, Sue, and Christy. Christina Mounts, yeah. So about 4.
My question is, Dion, even if I know preschool's not mandated, but it is instructional. Why isn't she under the instructional program?
It was when I got here, that was part of the program. So
Where's a better fit for you, Dion, in instructional or where you're at?
he's gonna say me.
No,
I know you like where you're at, but instructional wise, what's a better fit for you?
I think we're. Good team.
Steve's umbrella is here, Joni's umbrella overarches all of it, the curriculum group.
thank you,
The
Steve.
reason I asked that is that she's been here with the math and reading people
Yeah.
giving presentations, so.
Yeah,
Many different.
a lot of our staff, directors, coordinators, we all wear many different hats.
You
So
have to.
we overlap in a lot of different departments. So it's a great place to work.
Well, they're
Thank
great,
you.
great
Thank
people
you,
to
Ms.
work with.
Yes. All right. Appreciate the information. Item number 4, I'll ask the board to approve the minutes of July 30th and August 6th meetings. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Burns makes the motion. Cartwright seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And it's 5-0. Administrative items, Roman numeral 5. Any discussion?
Item G, it should have said CTE funds, it just says funds,
So just put CTE other than the last one.
correct.
Okay, thank you.
I am looking for the item with Southwest.
It's on.
I know. Do we need to discuss the
Uh,
buses?
It's on J K.
It's, yeah. It's on
James? Yeah. My question on item J is, why are we doing contract with pre-K Head Start programs with Southwest Community Action? We're paying them $246,000 for 4 teachers' aides, basically. Isn't that correct? I think that's what the contract says, $246,000. Why are we partnering with Southwest when we probably could hire those people for less money than
Or
that?
at the county level,
I'm sorry?
the county hire and be the employee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
county instead of
Mhm.
Southwest.
yeah.
I think they make a lot less than the agents.
Yeah, but, well, we could look into that,
I'm
couldn't we?
looking at the service contract.
Right.
It's not that I'm opposed to Southwest. I'm curious why we do this.
We have developed over the years, we have a collaborative with an MOU, we have a collaborative agreement with Southwestern Head Start. Because we also service Head Start children in our classroom, because that is our neediest of children here. When I started here, we also have, our 3-year-olds that come in. So those, we have, they're not really ECATs, they're just Head Start employees. But we also, contract people, their employees, to be in our rooms with our 3-year-olds. So that, thank you. So that, when we need that 3-year-old that comes in, when we need an extra set of hands in that classroom,
So they go from classroom to
We've got
classroom, Dion.
3-year-olds
we do.
Yeah,
in what class?
In our 4-year-old classrooms. By law, we have to provide services for those 3-year-olds that have developmental delays, because it's all about early,
intervention.
intervention.
You
Thank you.
gotta educate me a little bit.
Right, that's fine, that's fine. Mhm.
I got a grandson that's 3 years old.
Okay. Mhm.
All right. I can send him to public school?
If he is developmentally delayed.
Okay, developmentally.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Developmentally delayed. So we provide services for those 3-year-olds that's developmentally delayed or may have speech, may see
Let's
issues.
say we've got a developmentally delayed 3-year-old in the Hamlin area.
Yes, sir.
That kid goes to school where?
At Hamlin.
In preschool
Yes, sir.
at Hamlin.
And it could be 4 days a week, it could
Mhm.
be 30 minutes a month.
Right. It's all depending upon what the IEP states.
Now, Dion, would they be there 2 years? They're regular?
Some children can
They
go,
stay there till they improve, get okay. you
right.
know, and
Some
they
children can go as long, depending upon when their birthday is. We've had 3-year-olds go for 3 years of preschool. So what we're trying to do is, I always say it like this, when I was a preschool
Individualize it.
special education teacher,
Yeah.
I always try to work myself out of a job.
Yeah,
So that when those children hit kindergarten, that they no longer need services.
that's right.
So we,
So we don't have anybody in the school system who is trained or capable of this developmental delayed 3-year-old, but Southwest does. So that's why we're going with Southwest.
the reason we go with Southwest is
They're
because
already there.
they were already there when I came, but and to put it in a nice way, we get a better rate if we
And
use
we
our
don't have to
Southwestern.
pay all the fixed costs
Mhm.
that if it were a Lincoln County school employee.
So this is to Lincoln County's advantage
Mhm.
to go with Southwest
Mhm,
in
mhm.
this. This is not a good old buddy thing where we're
No, sir.
supporting
No, sir.
Southwest.
And this is statewide. We are collaborative. We do a collaborative effort with Southwestern Head Start, and the majority of our counties in the state of West Virginia also do that.
You've answered my question. I just wanted to know why we were
Right.
doing that. So
Right.
thank you.
Okay. You're
We
welcome.
do, we do get state aid funding for those 3-year-olds,
Okay,
depending on how much time. Like if it's 30 minutes a month, we get whatever percentage it is. It might be .010,
But you get it.
but we get, so if they're full time, then we'll get full, the whole 100% of what we get for any student.
just for my own curiosity, I would like to see what it costs us to have 4 teacher assistants as opposed to these 4. I mean, I'm gonna support this, but out of my curiosity, I don't think that we're paying four of our teacher aides that much money. But you don't have to do that now, just satisfy my curiosity next week.
And I also want to state with our collaboration with Southwestern Head Start, Southwestern Head Start funds materials and supplies for all of our preschool classrooms. They buy all the furniture, they buy all the toys. Kids don't have to buy anything when they start to school. The only thing we ask for parents to bring is a towel for kids at rest time. They provide everything.
Who provides the janitorial services? Southwestern?
No, we do.
Does, we do.
We do. But even though we just got new playgrounds, that was the ESSER funds. But before that, all of our preschool playgrounds was provided by Southwestern Head Start. So they provide millions of dollars for our county. Mhm. Yeah.
Now, it doesn't specify that so much is going to be for toys or.
Right, right. And I can give you, we're actually right now working on budgets. If you would like a copy of those budgets later on, it's amazing how much money that they give our county to support our preschool classrooms.
be
It is
interesting.
absolutely amazing. Right.
See those numbers for
Okay.
myself.
And if you want me to share that with you, once we get those complete, I would be,
You might
surely
wanna
will.
Share them with all board members. We
Sure.
Probably all have the same, interest in it.
okay, great. I can do that.
All right, buses. We got Peggy here. Come and talk to us, Peggy.
She was hiding, but she's here now.
This is a table item from last board meeting, where I brought about possibility of air conditioning our buses, either 1, 2, 3, 4, or none. So
Yes, sir.
what are you gonna tell us tonight?
The price, if we stay with the kind of buses that we have now, the manufacturer, which is the IC buses, it's about $10,000 a bus, regardless of what size it is.
What do you think about that?
Well, the buses that we have coming that we ordered last year that we haven't gotten yet and don't know when we're going to get yet, they all have air conditioning because we had step 4 funding that we could buy that with. And we didn't quite have enough for a 4th bus, so we added air conditioning to those. I can tell you that if we order these with air conditioning, we'll have step 4 money coming in again because bus builds right now are 18 months out.
Oh.
So we're going to have step 4 funding again before we would
they-
have to
before
pay
we
for
deactivate
those.
The buses. But I would hate to be, I would hate to have I'd hate to be the mother of the one that didn't have the air conditioning on these 90-degree days.
You think we'd be fine with going with 2 air conditioned buses?
The 2 larger buses with air conditioning and the 2 smaller buses
Austin
without.
concur.
But that means that the 2 who ride the unair, that don't have them, that's not, I mean, if I were a parent, I wouldn't be happy about that.
Well,
Well, I wouldn't,
there's
David, I've
two
got a
buses for
4-year-old.
parents that will be happy, but
Yeah, but you got 2 that's their child and they're
well,
on.
Air conditioned buses.
write us a
3.
check for
You
$20,000.
don't, well, let's put it on the agenda and let's write it.
No, you give
No,
me a check.
I
You
don't
don't
have-
have the money.
I have,
Lord.
I have the concern.
At what rate is this money reimbursed to us? When do we get it back?
We get it every year and it's based on our fleet value. So it's 8.33% of each bus value at the time is
That we
our
purchased
rate.
them.
Basically, in 10 to 12 years, you get the full cost of that back.
12 years,
How
12.
many?
12.
12 years. So, but we.
The
have
bus
to
stops
make
paying-
Money up front.
The bus stops paying for itself after 12 years or 180,000 miles.
So.
Well, what do you think, Peggy? Do you think it's right for 2 of them to have air conditioning and 2 of them not to?
Well, I can tell you, because I worked in a county that had all AC in their buses and that was a big thing there. It's like the air conditioner's not working in my child's bus. What are you going to do about it?
Well, you can understand.
You
the
know, and
parents
it's like,
being
I
concerned.
wanted to say, well, how about the other 54 counties that don't have it?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we can't satisfy
no,
all of those needs at one time. We started last year with doing that. It may take 10, 15 years before all of them are done.
and all of the special needs buses have
Are
to
air-
have
they have to
AC
have
on them,
it.
yes.
They do.
What do you gentlemen think?
Well, it's a quandary and I'll have to think about that.
Now, if you ask my bus drivers, I'm gonna tell you what they say.
It's not
Put 'em
fair.
on.
Put it on.
Absolutely. They drive them every
Well, I
day.
agree.
And because
I
they
do
spend
too,
more
I
time
agree.
on them than the kids.
I
Yes.
said that.
Well,
Yeah.
I know
like-
traditionally buses haven't had air conditioning. You also don't, when I was in school, you didn't hear kids killing over on the athletic field, heat strokes and that kind of thing.
Or a 4-year-old who we might find, in a back seat and
And I'm
be
not-
that way.
I don't
too.
worry as much about the in transit. If wind is down and ventilation, it's stuck in traffic and you're sitting there. I wouldn't want to sit in my truck for
40
30
minutes,
minutes.
right. And it wouldn't be awful to be 4 years old and sit in.
When we do 2 and 2, we're looking at $20,000 extra here
And I think we can
to put
afford
air
that.
conditioning in it. I
Once
think
you-
we figure it out.
You're saying that we'll have more of the step 4 money by the time we need to pay for this, correct?
Yes, we'll have another year of step 4 funding, which we
What-
could
what-
take
what-
$20,000 of that money.
To do the other two with
What-
air conditioning.
Yeah, and then maybe next time, instead of ordering 4, order 3.
I think we ought to do, I think every one of them needs to be air conditioned.
I think it's 2024 and I don't know why they make one anymore without an air conditioning.
And we
It's
don't-
unknown
and-
To me, but
You're right. And
And
we
if-
don't need to have the choice to make that for those children. 2 of them don't have it and 2 of them do. No,
Well, Mr. Barnett is looking at the budget
and I'm looking at kids.
and, well, the kids are fine, but if you don't have money to pay for them, there's a law that says Butchie Burns will pay for. it
Well,
out of their
don't,
own
did we
pocket.
just say how much it's gonna cost? How much is it gonna cost us to go up to the other 2 having air conditioning?
20 more thousand.
Well, that to me is a drop in the bucket for this board.
I don't want to go against the advice of the superintendent.
It's just,
But-
you know,
That's just me thinking out loud. If we can't do it, we can't do it. But if we can find a way to do it,
$20,000 is
Well-
not much.
Butchie, the problem that we have currently goes back to what I've talked about several times. Is there was a mistake in the tax data that we got. We took a big cut, about $600,000 to $700,000 in our budget. Now, we have written a letter to State Tax Department Commissioner and asked him to find the mistake, because we could see it was there. They have investigated all of that. They say that we had $12 million that did not get put into the tax system from oil and gas. 58 million that did not get put into the tax system for class 2 and 3 properties. Now, that wasn't in the system. That doesn't mean that those taxes aren't going to be collected. They probably will be. We probably will realize that money in the future. But as of right now, we're stuck with the budget that the tax department has given us, where we are bare bones. We voted last year to close Ranger. It is only closing that school that allows us to be even budget to break even right now. If we had not closed that school, we would probably be operating at a deficit of $500,000. So we may have this money, we may not. That's the question.
what we're looking at, I mean, it essentially, and Peggy, correct me if I'm wrong. We will have the money to do this. The money will come in. What that means is down the road, 4 years from now, when we get the next round of money, instead of being able to replace 4 or 5 buses, we only may be able to replace 3 buses.
But our enrollment may be way down. I just am worried about these 4-year-old kids who are riding a bus.
They
2
were
of them.
last year.
Well, but two other ones aren't going to. David, that is not right. We either do them all or we do none.
So
Peggy, let me ask you a
I
question.
don't follow your logic.
Well, I'm sorry,
We
but
can-
if
we
you had a
can-
4-year-old child on the bus
It
without an
doesn't
air
sound like
We
conditioner.
they're
can
gonna-
make life pretty good for 2.
It doesn't sound like they're gonna
kids.
start on these.
Who do you
tomorrow,
think?
am I right?
You can't do 4, you don't.
Well,
wanna
Do we
do
have
it.
the
I believe
option
Mr. Cartwright
If we
has some
did 2 and
questions.
2, and later on, if we found the money to add the air conditioning to the additional 2, before they finished with them? Could you
Yes.
always go back and do that?
Yes,
Yeah,
I would-
twenty
I would
thousand
suggest that,
dollars.
you know, let's not hold progress up here too much.
Yeah, but $20,000
Do
is
two
not
and
much
two.
for our kids.
And then if we can find $20,000 in the next 18 months to get it
Or
added,
even the next 18 days.
and we always sell buses, so we could always use that towards them later if we, decided down the road we wanted to put AC on the other two.
that's my 2 cents. I say we don't hold it up. We follow Mr. Barnett's ordering 2 and 2 and then look at getting that added if we can.
What's our next round of buses?
After we get the other three that we just ordered, and I was told we may get them in January or February.
Agenda item is purchase of 4 buses.
I would recommend that we go ahead and do the 4 with air conditioning
I
with
did
with the intent that when we sell buses in January, that money goes back into the coffers and not touched to be replaced for bus replacement. Because we're also looking at, another thing we're looking at too, we have all this money comes out the same way. I mean, as in terms of our fleet vehicles. We have, maintenance trucks that we're having to Band-Aid together to get place to place. We have a driver's ed car that we're gonna have to replace. There are lots of different things that we're gonna be looking at here in the near future. So we just need to be real cognizant of how we spend things.
Well, given how this agenda item is written up, it does not say with or without air conditioning. All right. I think we hire the superintendent to give us a recommendation and trust his judgment here. I don't want to put this board in the red financially, even on paper, even though I believe we're going to have the money. I've investigated this thing enough. I feel real confident we're going to have it. But I think at this point, we approve the purchase of these buses and leave the discretion up to Mr. Barnett as to whether we get air conditioning on 1, 2, 3, or 4. I think that's the safe way to go. Mr. Barnett is certainly not going to spin the county into the red, but I also know he wants to do what's best for kids and drivers. So that would be my recommendation to the board, is that we approve the item as it is written and leave the rest up to Mr. Barnett.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we got, first of all, is there any other discussion on the administrative items? No other discussion. We had a motion by Cartwright to approve the administrative items and a second by Wilson. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? 5-0. Finance, any discussion? No discussion. I ask for a motion and a second.
So move.
Wilson,
Second.
Cartwright. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 5-0. Brings us to the personnel section. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll ask for a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have one question about employment of extracurricular professional personnel. I don't know this person, but I was wondering what an innovation specialist is.
It's called CSI.
Oh, okay.
With Schoology, they also put all teachers turn in their work orders to them and they put them in the audit system so the tech department can get to them and.
Now, is this a full-time job at the school?
No, it's just.
No.
It's an additional, okay.
Any other discussion? Not ask for a motion.
So moved.
Cartwright,
Second.
Wilson, All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Brings us to comments and concerns.
Give you a little bit of background about what's been going on this week. We've had a whirlwind of training this week at Lincoln County High School, and then here we've had great turnout. About 78 professionals and aides there yesterday and today for textbook training and for ASHLOC training. We had our principals meeting today at MNR. Gave them just a ton of information. Real excited about what we've got in store. We're excited to get the year started. Some folks are getting out of their comfort zone, and but we're doing what's best for kids. So we're very, very, very excited about that. Duval project is moving along. They've got some pinning done up behind the in the slip areas and some industrial mesh up there at this point. They're moving dirt like crazy up there. And, as much as we need the rain, this weather has helped us in terms of them getting things done, getting to work. Kudos to, I know he doesn't like to be, mentioned, but kudos to Mr. Christori and his company. Guyan Valley looks better than it has. And, as long as I can remember, it looks great over there, and they're going to try to finish up tomorrow. Mr. Ramin's crew has been just, they've been 90 miles an hour getting things done, working on they're over there, they've been working over there, working on the advisory panel or the sponsor panel and the Panthers on the scoreboard. They've been pulling wire for that. Getting information on the man traps. We've got people coming to look at, they may have been here today, I think is what Jerry said, today or tomorrow. Come over, look at getting the electronics done on the man traps and the hardware. We've had key meetings, we've had air conditioning meetings. They're moving along over to Hamlin on the air conditioning. They're getting those things done. We're just looking at Cincinnati floor was the low bid to redo the gym floors. So things are just
How many gym floors are we looking at?
all of them.
All, okay.
We're looking at just a flurry of activity that we've had gone on. And so Mr. Davis and I we've been running our socks off as well to get everything squared away and get ready to open up. And we're ready. We're excited.
Members have any other concerns? We've got a couple of things to catch up to date on. I've asked Mr. Barnett to take a look at our homework policy and let's discuss that in the future. I'm talking primarily K through 5. And just to keep you all apprised, I had an inquiry about the crosswalk at Hamlin, that the one out here, PK8. It doesn't go anywhere. It used to go to the junior high and to the vocational school when it was there. That building's gone. So that crosswalk is
Doesn't need to be there.
not in a good place. Nobody uses it. They all cross down where the Hamlin Baptist Fellowship Hall is. We really need a crosswalk there. I've mentioned that to Mr. Barnett. He got Mr. Cremines on it. Mr. Cremines sent a letter to the highway department people to see about what we can get done with that. But that has been an issue. The last thing, and I've talked to Mr. Barnett about this briefly this summer. This county table building out there is costing us a lot of money. I don't know how much it is, but it's a money pit. And I don't think we're getting our money's worth. What they're doing there, they can do at the high school. There's facility over there to do that as well. So I'd like Mr. Barnett, when you get school started and things settle down, to run some financial numbers for us. It makes no sense to me that we keep throwing good money into that building to keep it up. Utilities, range hood inspections, everything else that's going on with it. It just seems like it's an albatross. And
Do we own that building or do we rent it?
we own it. The previous administration spent $500,000 on that building.
Well, I doubt we'll get that
And,
out of it.
It's sitting there,
Yeah.
$500,000. I don't know that there's any way we're ever gonna recoup money. Most of it was federal monies and rehab monies and whatever. I don't know how obligated we are
To pay those
keep that
back.
building open, but we need to look at all that stuff. We may decide to keep it open. But right now, it just seems like it's a financial stone around our neck.
How long has the board owned that building, David?
They bought it before we came on.
Yeah, I thought they did, but I didn't. I
Uh,
just worry that the feds will want us to pay back what they gave us.
well, I don't know. That's a consideration.
Yeah, we need to think about
So-
that.
That Frank will put all that together, I'm sure. But that's all I've got. Robert, you have anything?
No, sir, I have nothing.
All right. Well, we're gonna be going into executive session. You can stay on board, Robert. We're gonna be talking more on the superintendent's, goals and evaluation process, and I've got the evaluation form for you, Robert. I'll have it ready for you when you come back. We'll discuss it again and, hopefully have it on the agenda to finalize it next week. So with that,
I make a motion to enter executive session.
I second it.
Wilson and Burns, all in favor, it's 7:56, all in favor of enter executive session, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And we are into executive session.